Hey, everybody, welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. This is John. I'm not going to play the opening because we're just here to watch Jesse drive, and we're going to talk about these fucking trades for a couple of minutes here because I know you're busy, you're working.
Yeah, I don't think Scott. I don't think Scott got the link.
I just sent it to him in every spot that we talked to Scott. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. All right, well, Scotty might see it, Scotty might not. So, all right, overall impressions. What do you think?
I mean, I'm ecstatic about the Sweat trade. What we got, the compensation for that. I'm a little miffed about the Chase Young compensation.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm miffed in a couple of manners. I really liked the Montez Sweat trade. A second round pick from the fucking Bears without any conditions. Holy shit. That's almost a first round pick. That's right outside the first round. I think they're 35 right now. So that's fantastic. At that point, honestly, I would have stopped because what makes me mad isn't the fact that we got really, for all intents and purposes, a very high fourth round pick for Chase Young, is that the fucking problem is still here. All right, and I know it's only temporary, but the problem is on the goddamn sidelines, and his name is Jack Del Rio, and he took 2 first-round picks that we invested heavily in and failed miserably to be able to get anything out of them to the point where we had to get rid of them before either one of them came up on contract. And that's where I am. So anyway, how are you, Scott? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm ideally not that bothered about either of these. I'll be honest with you. I'm really not that fussed. I am and I'm not. I think the compensation for Chase was a little bit on the low side. However, he's going to a team that is contending. He's probably going to earn himself a ring. I've got no issues with that. He's got 9 games left. It's one of them. If you're not going to pay the man, which we clearly weren't going to do, then you've got to get what you can get out of him at the time. And if that's the best offer that came across the table, you've got to take it.
See, with me, I think we should have paid him and let the new coaching staff. I think they should have waited to the offseason. And because we could have wound up with a third round compensatory pick even if we didn't sign him. You know what I mean?
In 25,
it depends depends on what the trade value of him what the contract value of him is at the next team that he goes to.
Sure. But Chase is playing well this year, and anybody who denies that just doesn't understand. I think he would have gotten a big contract from whether it was here or somewhere else, and that goes. Who knows the new coaching staff and GMs. We could have signed them. You had 2 young. Great defensive ends on the squad. We know everybody's gone at the end of the year. There's no question about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Why get rid of both of them? Exactly. That is what I don't understand. Why? I understand one. Totally get it. Totally get Sweat. Thank you for your service, as Keith likes to say. But why get rid of both of them? Because
you leave the cupboard bare.
Yeah. Do you know?
And pass rushers are so hard to find.
We do leave it bare. We've got Tuhill and we've got James Smith-Williams. And guess what? Both of their contracts are up this season too.
Yeah.
So, what Jack Del Rio has done here, and I don't care about who anybody traded or who made the trades or anything like that, is in 4 years, he failed to be able to entice Montez Sweat through any ability or any belief in his system to sign a contract here. We got the better deal for Montez Sweat. Chase Young, for whatever reason, he got pissed off and they decided they're not going to give him that 5th-year option. Yep. Well, God damn it. I get he was hurt, but man, you guys let him sit on the other side of the field for a year and play out of position. It's everything comes back to coaching with this team.
Listen, Montez staying or going has nothing to do with coaching. This has to do with the value. This is Josh Harris's stamp on us. This doesn't come from Ron Rivera. This doesn't come from Jack Del Rio. But the fact of the matter is, you have, and you can't call them studs really, because neither one of them had more than 10 sacks per season. So The fact of the matter, I just think this was Josh Harris's, first very questionable move by getting rid of both of them.
That's the thing.
It's a dip in the. It's a toe in the water, isn't it?
Another defensive coordinator. Go ahead, Scotty. Sorry.
But yeah, saying it's a dip of your toe in the water here from Josh Harris. We're seeing what we're seeing. He's not afraid in the other sport that he owns in the 76ers to make a trade. He's quite happy to do that. At the same time, though, I think you've got what you've got out of it. We don't know if Chase Young would have even signed here. That's the other problem. See, you don't know who the... No, wait a minute, because you don't know who the GM is. You don't know who the coaching staff's going to come in. Is he going to want to play for this team?
But you can wait until after the year, you know.
Yeah, of course you can. I understand that.
We're talking about a third round competition. It's all about, if it was a second round, I'd be a little bit okay with it, you know.
Right.
But this is a third round compensatory pick of, like John said earlier, a fourth rounder. Basically, it's basically a fourth rounder you're getting for Chase Young. You could have waited at the end of the year, waited to see what GM and coaching staff comes in, and then try to work it out from there. You know, that's
could even franchise tag him, Jesse. I suppose he's the other way.
You very well could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Like John said it. Every DN we have on this team is
except
a free agent next
year. KJ Henry and the other young one that we
drafted. Andre Jones.
Right.
Yeah. Obada's up at the end of the season as well. So yeah, there's a lot there.
So I mean, okay.
So is there then actually looking at that? Yeah.
3 rounds. 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. You should be able to build something with that, right? I would hope so, because what we've done here is now we need to build an offensive line. We need a left tackle. We need a right tackle. Let's hope that Larson stays healthy and can be our center going forward. But
you've got Stromberg.
We need high picks spent at least at left tackle. You don't pull left tackles out of the 5th round.
Right? You're absolutely right. But we also need 2 DNs. Now, because I don't think KJ Henry and what's his name is going to be it. So, if you're going to do this, why not try and trade someone like Terry? Why not try to recoup something? See, like if you're blowing it up like this, if you're going to go ahead and blow up the defense like this, might as well go all in on it.
Because you have blown up the defense, essentially.
Yeah.
And Scotty, what you said about him, the fact that he's not afraid to make trades in the NBA. Okay, but you know what? In the NBA, one guy can fucking make the whole team. It's a 5-man team. One guy can fucking put a whole team in a whole different stratosphere.
Yeah,
and unless you're trading elite quarterbacks in this league, which they don't. He's got to learn. You got to build. It's a lot of areas to build, and what Jesse just said is right. We have a gigantic hole now that we need to fill with these picks.
We do have a hole.
I can't see the comments. I can only see like one comment at a time because I'm on my phone. And Scott, we're talking about a new regime coming in. You know, this is what you should have had. Right. These decisions like this need to be done by football people and not Josh Harris. I think personally, exactly. It seems like I'm not alone in this. I understand the sweat trade. Totally get it. We have way too much on the defensive line right now. As far as we've done that for years. Yeah. And so I totally get it. And to be all honest with you, Sweat wasn't producing. He nearly wasn't pressures and sacks and everything like that. I think Chase is starting to get on the men and starting to get up there. And you don't blow it up to that extent. You let the new GM do it, because there's going to be a new GM in place probably right after the Super Bowl. I think everybody's in agreement with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
go ahead, Scott.
What has Chase given this team? Let's be honest. I mean, honest answer here. He's the 2nd overall pick. It's generational talent that you could have gone anywhere with that 2nd round pick, but it was nailed in stone that we were going to check. As soon as we lost to the Giants, it was right. That's the Chase Young Bowl. You could write it in stone. He was coming here 100%. It was the draft didn't even start till pick 3 because Joe Burrow was number 1 overall, and everybody knew that they were the first 2 picks. But ask yourself, not just because he's injured. That first season, it was unbelievable. I thought he's got a gold jacket here. He's going straight to Canton. This is unbelievable. Then obviously he picks up the injury, and you think to yourself, okay.
Before he picked up the injury, he played more than half a season
Yeah, true.
Sam Mills completely flip-flopped him and you've heard me say this before. So yeah, he struggled over there, and that gave a lot of fans a bad taste in the mouth, and they thought, oh, he's really not. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
We'll
see. We'll see if he's a guy, because if he goes to the 49ers and balls out, we'll see.
Going to.
Hey, y'all keep going. I got to run and get something from my toilet before the store closes.
All right, yeah, man. Go get
running errands.
Jesse is gonna. I hope he doesn't regale us with that story. When he said, "I want to tell this story on the podcast," I was like, "Dude, I was only kidding on the fucking text there."
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I don't have a problem with either of these. I really don't, because we have 9 games left.
Yeah.
Games left with both of them.
This season's not it.
And the problem is people get. I love some of these players, I really do, but we get too attached to the names and too attached to the players. It's a business. People move all the time.
He pulled up a big one yesterday when he was talking about Terry McLaurin, but he's got a point. He has got a point.
Right. Same as John Allen. Would you have been disappointed if someone came in and said, "I'll give you a first, a second for John Allen"?
Hell no, fuck no. You take that every day of the week. But
yeah, I know.
Yeah. I was
to get a second out of the Bears, to go to the Bears.
They better have already had a situation where he's already agreed that he's going to resign, because otherwise, what the fuck was that? And did the Bears?
They do, Scott. I think you're right. The long term, both trades do make sense. The other thing that we're not talking about here is projected before we even made these moves today. We had 94 million next year in cap space.
You got tons of cap space.
Add 17 million on top of that right now that we've just saved, because if you go to Spot Track and you look at the contracts, Montez is an $11.5 million saving. Chase is just over 5.5. It's like nearly 17 million today.
You could have
already had 10. So do not be surprised that in the next week or 10 days, Cam Curl signs a big contract.
I would hope so. And you really don't have to make a decision on Sam Howell's money until next year.
Not at all.
So you still got all of that flexibility there. Somebody said to me today that these moves are to free up cap space, and I'm like, we got so much cap space, it's crazy. So
add what's it, 96 plus what's that, 96? So that'll be 112 million all told, that's massive. Okay, we're looking at defensive ends, and we're 2 down, as Jesse's just said before. We are 2. I know Cam isn't happy at the moment. Yam Sensei.
We only have 2 We have 2 on the roster at the end of this year.
But not just 2 down. We're 2 decent defensive ends down.
You can replace that in free agency.
Yeah, they're not nobodies. They're not just Jags, as people like to say.
Right.
These are household names that we just go ahead and go. But like I said, the second rounder, I'm perfectly content with that. The Chase one, I don't get.
Exactly.
Don't get.
The Chase one, I think,
Scott's bang on again. He's saying due to that's why the talk of waiting to get a comp pick is ridiculous. They likely wouldn't receive a comp pick anyway. Right. Agreed. If you don't, get that top 5 salary, you're not getting a comp pick. So why are you waiting for that? You've got to go shopping. So this is a big off season for whoever the new GM comes in, because we've got spots. We know which spots we need to fill. Offensive line, linebacker. We've also got
defensive end
now. Definitely, we're a cornerback away, and we still don't know if Sam Howell is the guy, like 100%. And if this ownership group believes in Sam, because it's not about the coaching staff we've currently got, because they've never been here.
The fact of the matter is, like I told you, man, the last coach that came in here and got to pick his own quarterback was North Turner, and that's 30 years ago almost. So
it's tough with quarterbacks because since they're so hard to find.
Right.
I mean, if you got someone on roster, you're going to stick with them, and we should all hope that Sam finishes the season out strong and he is the guy, because then they have they got a first 2 2s and 2 3s kind of.
What a great position to be in, though, if Sam is the guy. Let's be honest, it's a great position to go into the draft. You're going to pay him next year, right? Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is, for me, though, like I said, this is where I get my pissiness out of this whole damn day. Is number one, Jack Del Rio is still fucking there, and it's not even that I want him gone right now, even though I want him gone right now. The only reason I want him gone right now is because they didn't get rid of him last year or the year before that when I was screaming at this old bastard, and he did. Whether either one of those guys would be worth signing long term, we'll never know.
right? We're going to let somebody else figure it out. And, they have the talent. Maybe not with the Bears, because I think, didn't their defensive coordinator just like up and quit? I
kind of feel bad for Sweat in that aspect, because
right. But he's going to,
they're nowhere near, they're like us. They're nowhere near to
yeah.
That is a tough move for Sweat, because, they're not a good side, Chicago.
And he doesn't have to sign. He's not, that's the thing. When I said this morning, I tweeted out, is this an unconditional pick? Is this their pick?
Yeah.
That's crazy, because you're going to rent him for 3 months. It doesn't make any
sense. For a second, then you've got players like Ezra Cleveland going for a friggin' sixth.
Right.
Which I was like, what? I mean, he is an amazing guard, and he's gone for a sixth. And I'm like, okay, that's so. Actually, what you've got for what you've got today, you have to be you've got to have a sensible head here and think, do you know what? We've got what we can get for these two players, and I'm quite comfortable with it. In the long run, it should work out.
One, you don't give the 49ers a fucking free ticket to the Super
Bowl.
No,
I know that.
Which everybody does every year. They keep giving it to him. And
do you even think he'll sign? Do you even think Chase Young will sign? Look at their
49ers. He's back with Bosa, and him and Bosa were close when they were in in Ohio State together. So, and he's on a contender. So there's no reason why he wouldn't sign. To be honest with you, that's probably the perfect place for Chase Young, in my opinion. I just wanted to keep him. To be honest with you, I still saw, especially with a new coaching staff coming in. I still think in the future that he's going to be a fucking game wrecker, and I wish it was for us.
He's the second overall pick. You have got to take the second overall pick and have a player that's going to be the face of your franchise for a decade. And I'm sorry, Jack Del Rio fucked this up. And if anybody wants to show me any other reasons about how Chase did this or Chase did that, I'm sorry, Jack Del Rio fucked this up.
That's what you can't blame it all on Jack. The injury really played a big part in it.
Middle East
the injury played. The injury played the biggest role in all of this.
Right. And I mean
that's you can't deny that. No one can deny that. This is unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
No, it's a cumulative thing. We have two superstars at defensive end potentially, and neither one of them lived up to their potential.
So it's Randy Gregory.
I don't know. Sweat was never touted as a superstar coming out. I mean, he was touted pretty highly.
Yeah, he was.
He was supposed to be. He was supposed to be pretty good, but he wasn't never touted as a superstar. Shit.
Not like Chase. You're right.
I think he probably would have been Jesse had that heart scare not been there. He'd have been nowhere near where we were picking to go back up.
I mean, it was he was like a top 12 or 13 pick that they were saying. We got him at 22? We got him at 22.
We traded back down to get him.
26. So it was the same year we got Dwayne Haskins, RIP. But yeah, he's
again, if you're going to do that, they should have put Terry on the trading block, because I think a team would put up a first round for him.
Okay, so which let's just say there's a run on quarterbacks, or we go into the draft. We're all in semantics now, and we're what ifs. But every year there's a run on something. It's either quarterbacks, it's wide receivers, whatever it is. There'll be that again this year. So some talent is going to fall out of that first round. And right now, as you said, John, it's the 35th pick projected right now. That is almost a first rounder. I've got no problem at all with that pick whatsoever.
If we didn't have
a really good pick.
If we didn't have to rebuild everything about defensive end on both sides.
That's the thing. There's a lot of holes now. There's a lot of holes.
That's where you pick up that defensive end. That's where you pick it up.
Right.
But I mean, you're going to need you need, and this is where you better fucking hope Sam Howell's the guy, because you're going to have to get at least two offensive linemen, at the very least two bookends. I think Leno and definitely Wiley's time is up. You need them
Leno's
early.
Got no cap.
Leno played well on Sunday. I forgot to give him a butt pat for that. I thought he had a damn good game, in fact. So let me go ahead real quick and just.
But you have to concentrate on the offensive line first and foremost. I mean, that's only if they decide Sam Howell's the guy. And then you got to pick up in. I don't know I haven't looked this far ahead, but who would be available in free agency. Now we still do have $94 million next year, and this getting rid of Chase and Sweat does nothing to help the cap whatsoever. That just because they were free agents next year.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to be some wheeling and dealing in free agency, to make this work. Otherwise, we're going to again have holes on this team.
Yep.
So
they're going to have to address linebacker as well. Yep. I mean, maybe they keep Jamin Davis. Maybe. I mean, there's so many holes now. You just made another one. I think that's the most frustrating part in my opinion. Obviously, who knows if I'm right? I'm right about 30% of the time anyway. So it's like,
dude, that's better than somebody like Jason LaCanfora.
That's true. I don't know. Like I held an affinity for Chase Young too. I always rooted for him, and it's stuff that
we all need him to be what we want him to be.
Yeah, and maybe that's my heart over my head or something. I don't know, but I just don't see how this is a good getting rid of both of them is a good.
I can't convince you yet, Jesse. But let's come back in 2 years and we'll see where we are.
When we take that
when Chase wins defensive MVP and they have 2 Super Bowl rings, you come fucking talk to me.
Right, and we got pick number 94. Okay, we're working with pick number 94.
Okay. No, in all seriousness, though, you've saved yourself salary this year, which works out to about 17 million. So if you put that 17 million on the tent we already had, that's 27 million to play with.
Like ordering a fucking Diet Coke when you go to McDonald's. Shut up.
I know, but
and then I'm out $150 for the goddamn jersey I bought last year. What the fuck, man?
I know, that's why I told you I'm never buying them again, man. I almost bought
but to be fair, my wife was like, "Who do you like then?" She's like, "Oh, there's this nice one here." I went, "Is it number 90?" She's like, "Yeah, do not get me that one." So I think I've gone with a Sam Cosme jersey, but yeah.
Wait a couple, that one, he might stick around for a while. Or what you do is whoever you get one of their linemen that they drafted and you buy his jersey because he'll be on the team for 5 years.
Stromberg, I'm getting Stromberg jersey because every fucking jersey I buy, it doesn't work out for some fucking reason.
Speaking of Stromberg, what was his injury the other day?
I don't know. I haven't really heard any updates about that.
He came back in though, I'm sure.
Scott, you're on it, Scott. 100%.
Now the real reason why Jesse is upset, it's the jersey. But $1,000 cents, man. They add up. All right. Do we have anything left to talk about on the trade? This was just supposed to be a quickie. Are you guys? Jesse looks like he's got to get back to work.
Man, yeah, I'm running. I had to work late. I'm running errands right now. I mean, I'm good. I'm just in the Food Line parking lot bumming their Wi-Fi. So,
hey, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, then shit. I guess we will see everybody on Friday evening at 5:30, where we will break down more of this. Yeah, Friday at 5:30, and we will talk about the New England Patriots game coming up. We'll see what happens. Mac Jones probably feels a hell of a lot better about that game today.
I'm pretty certain he probably does, John. You're right, yeah.
I don't know, man. You think about it, and if you think about the games last year when Sweat and Young wasn't there. I mean, they played pretty well. And who knows? Who fucking knows, man? It's a goddamn head scratcher though. Right now, my feelings are hurt a little bit. It is, it is what it is.
The fact of the matter is that we've heard rumor in the past that it's Chase Young that's the freelancer, and it's hard to kind of argue about it. Even though he's getting pressures, you can see how they get away because there was that play last week where he just all of a sudden fucking decided he was going to deke inside, and he runs up the back of Jonathan Allen, and then fucking of course Hurts escapes right out to where he was, and I just wonder if Allen knew he was coming.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We definitely were not, in that huddle and knowing exactly what stunts they're calling or what play calls that we're calling. So we really, I don't know if we'll ever know. But who knows? We'll see what happens. I just, like I said before, if they were going to do this, they should have gone for more. Did more. I mean, maybe not necessarily Terry, but cut some more fat. Go ahead and bite the bullet. If we're packing it in for the season. Might as well get what you can get for the new regime coming in. You know what I mean?
Yam says, any word on Mathis? Did he get hurt again? He recovered one of those fumbles. at the
Yeah,
5-yard.
I didn't know if he got hurt or not.
I don't know about. I don't think he got hurt.
I know he recovered.
He played a lot of snaps. I think he played, you know, at least like 35% of the snaps or something like that. He got a good rotation in. So
I don't know if it was Jesse the other night or it was.
I think Scott was talking about the Stromberg was a knee.
Oh, okay.
Stromberg was a knee. Yeah, Stromberg
was a knee. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think you mentioned it the other night, and it was like it's always been this vaunted four as always been one that's played well, or two of them have played well. Allen and Payne have had a good day. It's never been. They've all, as a unit, all four of them have had a great game.
Yeah,
I mean, never happened. And if that's mismanagement of coaching, if that's scheme, I could not tell you what it is. But
to me,
we haven't seen it, have we? We've not seen it over this Jack Del Rio tenure. It's just not.
If you're getting, you know, manhandled by, I mean, this is my opinion. If you're getting manhandled by the offensive lineman on a play-by-play basis. I don't know how much scheme is that. I mean, have we overrated some of these players? Is that a possibility?
Probably.
You know?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Most likely, probably. I mean, Daron Payne, you probably say absolutely not the way he played last season. You think, yeah, but then he's got a contract and has he relaxed?
No, I mean, the first couple of games he seemed like a monster. I mean, maybe he's dealing with an injury. Who knows? I mean, maybe something that's nagging. We just don't know.
You know, I hate to say it, it seems like once Chase came back, they all kind of got discombobulated again. So
yeah, you're right.
We'll see. Now it's going to be Smith, Williams, and Toohill over there, so we're going to see how it goes.
Williams tomorrow. Smith Williams is going to sign a $22 million contract extension.
Don't you
Fuck
dare,
you!
I want Cam Curl. Signed, sealed, delivered.
You see, Cam Curl put a post out on Instagram. He's not happy right now too. So kiss him goodbye. He's probably not going to want his fucking sign here either.
There goes any pressure he's going to have to take off of his freaking deep. He's got to worry about what's coming up at the front. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what
happens. All right, fellas.
All right. We'll see everybody on Friday.
Yep. See you Friday.
Take care.